Hello and welcome to Inspiration Interviews. I am so excited for today's episode. I'm your host, Charles Nichols, and you guys know why you are here. We pull the influencers, the people who make a difference in the community, and just people who have a great story to tell. So we've got all that in one today. I don't think you guys are ready for this, man. He saves lives quite literally throughout the week and then goes on the weekend and then blesses people's lives. Man, I am so very excited to be introducing this person to you. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about no other than Edwin Sneed. Come on down, come on down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There he is. There he is.
You are the living word, awesome ruler, gentle redeemer, God with us, yeah. God with us, the living truth, and what a friend we have in you. You are the Jesus.
All right. I mean, first of all, thank you for coming.
Not a problem.
I know that we had to get some time stuff together because they got him working 20-hour shifts. So, I was like, can you do 8? And he was like, I just got off of work at 7. So, but thank you for being here. You pulled up in style, man. You had the bike, man.
Hey, I'm trying to catch it before the rain comes.
I shouldn't say, God. That's the first thing I asked. I'm like, put up in style, but I don't know how you're going to get back because it might be raining. But man, I'm so glad that you are here and I introduced you. Did you hear that introduction? I
did. Awesome. Awesome. I feel special, presidential.
So quite literally, that's honestly how I view you. Like literally you saving lives throughout the week. And then you come back and as you are a musician at Redeemed Church, we both attend the same church. It's so great to see you always still there, still showing up and showing out every Sunday, singing, playing, and just really letting the Spirit take you into those keys, man. So I am blessed by you every Sunday, and I'm blessed by even when I'm not one of your patients. I'm just blessed that the fact that you're doing work like that. So
thank you,
man. Without further ado, I want to start off this episode by asking this question, and I want to set the scene here. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
You're one of my core memories in my brain.
All right.
And I'm gonna tell you why. So, way back when I was a youngin', I played a little bit of the piano myself, but I had to play something for a church program, right? And so I had sheet music. And there was this one note. I'm like, bro, is that D or C? I could not remember from my piano training. And so I'm like, Mr. Edwin, God, can you come in here and tell me what note this is? And I remember, I'm just like, he was like, you looked at the sheet and you just kind of squinted. You was like, oh no, I can't tell you what the name is. I'm like, how can you, the key master, not tell me what that is? And it turns out that you're not able to read sheet music because you didn't learn that way, right?
Well, I was taught to read.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught to read. I went to piano lessons from age 9 till about 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how to read music, even once I got into high school, playing other instruments, sight reading and things like that. Well, as I got older, it was easier for me to just hear it.
Wow.
And play it.
Yeah.
So the time that I could sit in front of a piece of sheet music and pluck it out. However, that would take time, whereas I could say, just let me hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it. So I can read, but I kind of remember that scenario. And the sheet music was just, it wasn't going to be something that I could map out on the spot for you. However, it's just over the years, I've just learned how I can hear it and get it.
That is such a gift. And I'm so impressed by that. And I wanted to start the episode like that because I want to talk about how did you even get into music? I mean, we have so much other stuff to talk about as you are a nurse. You are a father of 2, you're a husband. So we're going to get into all of that. Mm-hmm. And there's so much stuff I know about you and so much other stuff I can't wait to learn about you. But the music, I want to know about that. How did you get into that? Like, where did you start? You said that you were in band, or you took lessons rather. You took lessons at 9. So how did you get into music?
Okay. So I'll try to keep this brief.
Gotcha.
From my mom even has pictures. I believe they told me I got my first piano when I was like 3.
Wow.
3 years old, and she told me that I used to never, as a kid, you know, when they want to bang on it, and then she said I never did that. I would play one note at a time.
Yeah, you need to teach my son how not to bang on things.
She said I would play one note at a time, and as I got older, I want to say it was about 5. My grandmother had an organ in her house, and this organ, I've never seen anything like it. It was basically like play by numbers, and then it had color coded chords. So there was like a patch of chords sitting on the side, and it had beats to it, and it would play, you know, the bass line and drums and all that little stuff. It was on a basic level, but nonetheless, it was fun. So I used to sit next to my grandmother because she used to play it all the time. And when she'd get done, I'd stay there, you know, feet barely able to reach the volume pedal. But I got there and I started playing by numbers. And by the time that I was done, I didn't need the book anymore. I could just get up there and play any song.
Wow.
So it started there. And as time goes on, my mom and dad always, it seems like every year for Christmas, I got a new Casio. So I would get the Casios, and they all had demos on them, and I would learn the demo.
What's a Casio?
All right, see.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So Casio was fun. All right, young buck.
Is it a cassette?
No, Casio was the brand name of a keyboard.
Oh, see, I knew that. I was just
we'll let you slide on that one. But it was a brand name of keyboard. It was the most popular one at that time, and you could buy these little cartridges with different demos on them. And once I learned one, they give me another one. I learned that, they give me another one. So they saw that this was going somewhere. And by age 9, I was playing at church. And the church paid for my piano lessons. And in return, I played for them at church. And here we are 40 years later.
Oh, wow. So it's just something that you just never lost passion for. Wow. That is so great. And that's why I bring it up, because it's so amazing that the fact that you hear, that you have a talent, just to have that ear for it, like that has always been so impressive. With that core memory, I always look at you when you're playing, I'm just like, he just hears it. That is so impressive to me.
Thank you.
And the same way that you have to hear the piano and have to hear the music and you could just recall it, is the same way that you have to hear your patients and hear with the little stethoscope. Is it called a stethoscope?
Stethoscope, yes.
Stethoscope. You have to hear the heartbeat and all of that. How do we go from a musician and playing and just being able to do that? How do we get into wanting to save lives?
Well, that's something that I wanted to do early in age. However, I was steered in a different direction through high school. Was told that this is what you need to be. You know, this is what you need to be successful. Even though while I was in high school, I did everything. I was in band until they cut it out. I was in choir. I was in sports. I did all those things, and I really enjoyed. I went to an engineering high school, so everyone that went to college, we were told that we should be an engineer, and that's the path I took. However, life happens, you know, and I wound up relocating to Memphis after a couple of years of college. And while I had desires to be a nurse at that time, it just wasn't really feasible. I got down here and I was like, oh, I got to find a job. I got to have a place to stay, things like that, you know. And I was here with a family member for about 4 months, and then they relocated, and I decided to stay. So I got into banking, and I was in banking and finance for a little over 20 plus years. Did a few other things, and I got out of banking because I was in that simply, it was never a passion. Mm-hmm. It was something that I was able to provide for my family as a result, and just got in that cycle. And, you know, God blessed me to be successful, you know, in the different avenues that I took while working. And he called some things to get me out of my comfort zone and change paths. And I went from that, and it was just crazy. Went from that to selling insurance, did that for a little while, and then ultimately wound up being a technician.
Oh, wow.
Installing internet and phone service and satellites and
career paths.
Yeah, all of those things. So to bring it all full circle, how I wound up getting back on track with the nursing path, it was crazy. I'm here servicing these customers, repairing their internet or whatever it was. And I had a lady ask me out the blue, have you ever thought about going into nursing? And I was like, actually I have.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Wow.
Out of nowhere. So, I was like, okay, I hear that, and I can't remember the same day, but it was in a short period of time. It was at another customer's house. It came up again. Have you ever thought about going into nursing? I was like, wow, okay, God, I'm listening.
Oh,
you trying to tell me something? So I'm taking all my tools out, loading them on my truck, and encounter a man across the street. Just speaking, had nothing to do with him, and we wound up in a conversation. And this was a man that was in his 40s that had just graduated nursing school. And had become a psychiatric nurse. So at that point in time, I had an injury on the job. I was off 3 months. It's like something's got to change. I can't continue to do this. So I just prayed about it. I was like, God, if this is the path that you want me to have, open the doors, make it simple that a fool can't hear from it. And I started studying for to take the entrance exam and applying for financial aid and all the good stuff that comes with it. And ultimately I wound up in nursing school. And not only did I go to nursing school and graduate, but I did it debt free. Won't he do it?
Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that is so amazing. There's so much to unpack. I mean, I know that God uses people to speak to others for sure. But I'm so curious. So as you are in your technician career, like, and you're saying people are asking, have you ever gone to nursing? Like, was there anything that you did to trigger them to say that? Or was it just completely just...
It was out of the blue.
Oh my gosh, like that is so unreal for you to be able to go to nursing school debt free. I mean, that is amazing. Now, I do have to ask this because I know a lot of people. I graduated college in 2022, last year, something like that. I see a lot of my friends going to nursing school and man, they be struggling. So with you going to nursing school, I know that wasn't easy. I want to know about your experience with nursing school and all the other things you had to balance.
I'll tell anybody, even to this day, if they talk about going into nursing, the best thing you can do for somebody is not to sugarcoat things, and didn't do it. And when I was in nursing school, I was in an accelerated program. Excuse me. So thus it's just rapid fire, having courses for 6 weeks. Whereas in some other avenues, you have a whole semester to take that course, so on and so forth. And on top of that, I worked full time as well. And it was not easy. And one of the main reasons I was able to do it is because I had a super support system. Firstly, with my wife, she understood that there were going to be long nights. There were going to be stressful moments. And and she was there to support me the whole way. And then in addition, I have nurses in my family, so I also made a sacrifice to put myself in the environment in which I was looking to go towards to kind of help with that. And again, I just saw God in that scenario as well, because I took a major pay cut to go and become a CNA. However, it put me in the environment that I desired to be in. And as a result, while I was in nursing school, I was able to work, I was able to study, I was able to allow others to pour into me. You know, there were other nurses that they saw my work ethic, and as a result, they poured into me, helping me start IVs and helping me study, or just taking me and showing me certain things, you know, about patient care, so on and so forth. So it just really worked out for me to whereas I had support 360. I had 360 degrees of support, and that made it so much easier.
Man, and you saying the key thing is like how you're making this transition and you had to sacrifice your sleep, the long nights, time with your family, and then pay cuts as well. And it's just so crazy because when you know, and the fact that you're saying that you had so much support with you, I mean, they anywhere just 360 support, as you said, man, that is just so amazing because the theme I'm getting from that is the fact that when God puts you in a certain place, you gonna know it's the right place.
Exactly.
And so your story is so inspiring by just having random people tell you like, hey, you ever gone to nursing? And that being a dream of yours since you were young, and now you getting into that space and having so much overwhelming support, then I'm assuming, of course, I think that you have a great support system, but I'm assuming that it's not the same as your other careers, right? Like you didn't have as much, people pushing you like that in the banking and the technician. Like when you know, that's a whole upgrade. As we said, you did have to balance family time. And so you are a husband and a father of two. And so with that being said, I want to know the advice. How long have you been married?
I've been married. Come November, we will be married 27 years.
Love to see it. So 27 years. So what, as a young married man myself, and other people out there who are thinking about it, considering it. I have one of my other friends tell me the other day, they're like, hey, I'm ready to get married. I'm like, what advice do you have? How do you keep your marriage so strong for so long?
There are a couple ways I could answer that question. One of the biggest things and it requires, 24/7, 365 work at it, communication. Communication is critical to the success of a marriage because the wrong communication, no communication, those things can break a marriage, as well as great communication can build a marriage. So it's not only just communicating, but making sure that you communicate in the right way. And that's something that my wife and I, we talk about on a regular basis. And just learning how to communicate. And I could get into all different types of scenarios, being able to, part of communication is speaking their love language, and not necessarily, expecting the love language that you expect from them because that's not what they like. The other thing is to keep your home. And what I mean by that is, how they say it, just keeping your business between you. A lot of times, it takes some discernment to understand that, okay, I might not need to tell this person that. Because next thing you know, Susie and, Ronisha.
A lot of different opinions.
Yeah, everybody else. So with that, but I will say this, it's great as well in marriage to have a support system, but that support system should consist of people that have at least been on the same path, even though they may not be married as long as you have. But I do truly believe that you can learn from anyone. That's good and bad, but just putting yourself in the right environment, you know, not subjecting yourself to things that could cause stress in the marriage. So,
Man, that is great. That is such great advice. I need my pencil and my notepad because I need to be taking notes. Let's transition to the sons. You have 2 sons. What is your experience with fatherhood? Since you have so much wisdom to give, what are the age of them now?
Cam is 22 and Kendall just turned 26.
Oh, wow. So that's kind of, I'm 23 and my sister is 26. So we right there.
Right.
So,
Right.
Man, shout out to Kendall and Cameron, man. But how was your experience with fatherhood? And now since them being grown, what is your experience now?
I do believe that I have healthy relationships with my boys. One thing that I felt was always important was to, as they were getting older, our relationship style and communication styles changed. So, you know, I didn't, from the time that they were 6, when they hit 12, for example, you know, started to change the way I communicated with them because they had to understand that as far as evolving into manhood, the way that I communicate with you is going to be a little bit different. So now, even in their adult years, we still have a good relationship. We can come over, you know, hang out, you know, matter of fact, just night before last, you know, every other week, Cam and I have chopping sessions, you know, he cuts my hair, I cut his hair, you know. And then with Kendall, you know, we have scenarios where he's running his own business and, you know, some things that he needs help with, I just try to help enlighten him to make his business run better on a technical basis, you know, so try to communicate to them that his mom and I, you know, that we have an open door for communication. But at the same time, while we still have evolved and, you know, we communicate with you as adults, there's still certain things and scenarios that, man, they're still our kids.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, so sometimes we got to chew on them a little bit, you know, to get things to go in the right direction.
Those between your career and your musician and you being a husband and a father of 2, those are the things I know about you. So what is something that, you know, you're here, you're in front of the camera. What is something that Edwin Sneed is working on? What is something you mentioned that Kendall has his own business. Do you have your own stuff going? Have we got a single that nobody knows about yet?
No singles. Work has kind of consumed me quite a bit right now.
I bet.
And working nights, I wind up, you know, sometimes unfortunately sleeping days away. Try not to do so, but sometimes that's just what happens. Right now, the only thing that we have cooking, my wife and I, is really trying to get in a position to enjoy life. On the music side of things, again, work has consumed me a little bit, so I haven't been in the shed as much as I would like to be. However, shout out to KPG.
She was on the show.
Yeah.
She was season opener. Right?
Exactly.
Shout out to KPG.
Shout out to KPG. I am planning to work with her on some things.
You've heard it here first. You've heard it right here, right now. Oh, that's so exciting. That's so exciting.
So, you know, that, and I think that that's something that will be so fluid, cause she and I, just connect. You know, we play together, sing together, rehearse together pretty much on a weekly basis. And this has been for, I've lost how many years. But there's some things that we've talked about over the years. It's just time to make them come to fruition.
Oh man. Well, that is so great. See, because you inspire me through all the things that we've already talked about. And so for you to reveal, I can understand. Well, to the degree I can understand. I mean, I know nothing about nursing. I know very little about that field, but I know it's very demanding, and you work nights, as you mentioned. So I know that can be very, very time consuming. So you guys have heard it here first. KBG International, if you haven't watched that episode, she is episode 1. She is the season opener of season 2. So for them to be collaborating, for them to work together, oh my gosh, that's groundbreaking. We are excited, and me, them, we're all gonna be tuned in. We're gonna be ready for that. So I'm gonna be asking you now every time I see you, like, hey, what's going on? What's new with that? So, man. With that being said, that can go into my conclusion. As we conclude, your story again has been so very, very inspiring, and I've been so glad that you've been able to stop by. So is there with all of the hats that you wear, is there anything that you have on a daily life that gets you through your husbandhood, your fatherhood, your nursinghood? Is there any reoccurring theme or any scripture or any daily just motivation that's quite tattooed in your head that gets you through everything?
2 things. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And this other phrase has been something that I was told in my early 20s that I have never forgotten. You can ask my kids, it doesn't matter. No one can stop me from being successful but me. I firmly believe that. I don't care about titles, positions. I respect titles and positions, however, but that's not what defines me. So those 2 things right there are what have, along with my support system, have empowered me to go from one phase to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next.
Wow, that is so profound. Well, I thank you so much for being here. As I have said a million times before, but you can't end the episode better than that. But you know how the inspiration interviews, you know how we work. We gotta have a little something at the end. So, I'm not gonna lie. What you said, you and KPG's chemistry is always that.
You want to see if we got some chemistry?
I do. You're in my mind. It's a running joke at Redeem Ministries, even though I don't take it as a joke. But I always want to sing. They want me to host. They want me to speak, but they never want me to sing. So you know what? I got you in the building. I want to see if we got some chemistry. I want to see. You on the keys, me on the mic. What can happen?
Hey, you come over to the Beat Laboratory.
Oh, well. You know what? Before I let you guys go and see what we just cooked up, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have anybody else that you would like to see on the show, see in front of the camera, email nicholswmedia@gmail.com, and we can see what we can do to get them on the show. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see right now what we cooked up in the lab.
All right. Can't wait.
So I've been hearing comments, concerns, emails about how I just can't sing. About how I should just let my auntie KPG International do the singing. Well, I tell you what, I'm in the lab with brother Edwin. Him on the keys, me on the mic. What could go wrong? Now let me tell you like this. We got something special for you. I got something special for you, baby. Yeah, talking to my wife. I know you watching this, so I gotta do a little something for you. Last night I saw you standing, and I started pretending I knew you, and you knew me too. But just like a Rooney, you were too shy. But you weren't the only, 'cause so was I. And now I build up my confidence And now something next time you come my way. I know just what to say. Hey, can we talk for a minute? Hey girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. And why the little donut thing? What was that? Well, I'll tell you what, thank you so much
Hey,
for letting me in your household.
hey, we come back for a mix down session.
Oh man, yeah. I enjoyed myself.
Overdubs.
Yeah, we might need to put a little auto-tune in there a little bit. Man, but you're so talented. He hadn't even played that song before, y'all. Come on now. I know I sound just like the artist. I know I sound, same thing, basically same thing. But man, you're so talented. I'm so grateful that we got to see your skill, man. And just thank you, man. That's what we do at Inspiration Interviews. We see a little bit of talent, but we also have some fun. So thank you guys. Oh man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Inspiration Interviews, we are out.